Okay, this is the mincemeat that we made that turned me from someone that hated mincemeat into someone that absolutely cannot put down a mince pie. Stick around. Okay, so here's what you need for that lovely mincemeat. This is muscovado sugar, beef suet, you could use vegetarian if you wanted, mixed spice here, all in the list below, sultanas, raisins, currants, bramley apples as always. There's the mixed peel. We've got brandy in here, we've got sherry over here, and in this pan here are lemons that have been boiled whole for 2 hours. Super, oh, there we go. That is mincemeat. So the first thing we need to do for this recipe is mix everything together. It's very, very simple. This is the first stage. So in goes the sultanas. So raisins and sultanas. I also made this recipe very user-friendly because it's actually the weights that you buy from the supermarket. So I do this order as one order every year from my supermarket supplier to my house. Then I make all of the ingredients up, so it works really well for that. Nice and user-friendly. Currants, in they go. Big mixed peel. In goes the spices in here. That's ginger, mixed spice into there. In goes the muscovado sugar. Nice, rich, sticky sugar. Look at that, beautiful. In there, it's going to give us all that caramel. In goes the mixed peel, like that. Delicious. Right, here goes that suet. Like I said, you can use vegetarian suet, but this is just the straightforward beef suet. Okay, now that sits around like that for a minute, and we need to get our lemons and our apples prepared. Okay, so now we've got all those ingredients mixed in the bowl. There's 2 other ingredients you do need to do a bit of prep on as well. I would say get this done early. Get it done in June, even hold it the year before. This is mincemeat I'm going to use today to make the pies, and this is from December 24, so that's a year ago. We made that last year. We finished the mince pie mix, then we make this mix, then we use that the year after. So it's had a whole year in the jar. God, it's so good. This is treasure, that. So, in goes the apples. So simply cut them into 4, cut the core out of them, and I'm going to grate them into the mix. But I'm trying to sort of cut them into user-friendly pieces. Don't start grating a whole apple. You're going to find yourself very quickly in the weeds. So cut that whole thing like that. Bramley apples are super important because they are really nice and acidic. They're not too sweet. They're really robust. They hold up nicely. So they're like that. Then we use a box grater. And all we're going to do is use a box grater and just quickly run those down, and they're going to go straight into our mix. So generally speaking, we make these for the mince pies at Trinity. It's a dish that's been on the menu for 10 years. We serve it with a Christmas pudding butter and lovely creme chantilly. We make the mince pie when the guest orders it. We construct the mince pie and then we cook it. So it's a really nice thing, like made to order. I make them at home all the time. I love these mince pies, but equally, I do put a little bit of this mince pie mix, a bit of the mincemeat mix through my red cabbage, my braised red cabbage. Adds that sort of nice interest. Goes great into an ice cream, folded into a vanilla ice cream. Just buy shop bought ice cream, warm up a bit of your mince pie mix and fold it through. Absolutely delicious. The other great use for it, we make a souffle. We make a Christmas pudding souffle. One lovely little trick, which I got from Mr. Phil Howard, I think. Make a lovely shortbread mix, roll it up, chill it nice and firm, use a box grater and grate the shortbread mix and sprinkle it over the top of the tart. I was going to do that one today, but that's his. I want to show you mine. So this is our mince pies that we serve at Trinity. Okay, there's that apple. In it goes into our mix straight on top. Doesn't matter if it discolours, the whole thing is going to be a very dark brown anyway. And then we just use a nice pastry card to scrape all that up, leave no mess behind. Here we go. Right, on to, I think, what is actually one of the most important parts. So these are really good lemons. Good quality lemons, I mean, by that. Just squeeze them out. These have been put into a pan of just normal water, no salt, no nothing. And they've been simmered, no lid, for 2 hours. And they go really soft. You're looking for that skin to be really malleable and choppable now. So, choppable, is that a word? You're looking for that, what the hell? You're looking for that skin to be really malleable, soft. to get a knife through, and it adds a huge amount, this lemon. For me, this is the key to the whole thing, the success of the whole thing. That's now got no future for this. That goes away. Lemons are like this. Then get through your lemons like everything. Prep one, get it over there, scrape out any of that. We don't want that. We're just interested in the skin. Get those into pieces that we can work through. Scrape that. I really hope you do make this mix. It's a great thing to do, but kind of make it just after Christmas and you've got that downtime after Boxing Day, or make it in the summer. But I think giving it a good 6 months to relax as a mix in your cupboard really develops those flavors, makes the mix much nicer. You can buy mincemeat in the shops now. You can buy great mincemeat, but I guarantee you it is not as good as this, because you know exactly what's in there. You're controlling the quality of the fruits, the quality of the spices. You put this lovely fresh lemon in and you've got complete control over the quality of it, and it really shines through at the end. I can eat this stuff on a bowl of vanilla ice cream. I love it. Oh. Do you know what's nice with as well is with cheese, just out the jar as a cheese chutney. This is like mincemeat, endless uses. 101 ways to use mincemeat. Right, now the lemon's like that. We just want to slice it into sort of usable pieces. Not too small, because I kind of want to fill them inside the mix. I'll just slice them up like that. So it's almost like candied peel, but a little bit more. I think there's probably quite a myth around mince meat. It sounds like it's got minced beef in it. I think once upon a time it did used to have mince meat in it, so it was a meat-based product. Obviously still has suet in it, so it is meat-based if you choose to use meat-based suet, like we have, but it certainly doesn't have mince meat in it anymore. It's very much a fruit-based mix. It's quite boring to watch, isn't it? Okay, so there's my lovely chopped lemon. Bring this bowl back up here. And then all we need to do now is just give that a really good mix through. This is now ready for stage one, which is to bake. We need to cook this to amalgamate all the flavors. We need to get all that suet melted through it. We need to get all those flavors cooked together and give this thing a whole roll. So that's going in the oven at 80 degrees, which is quite a low temperature, for 3 hours. I sometimes do this overnight, just 50 degrees overnight, just to get it really amalgamated. You must note that there is no alcohol in at this point, because we don't want to burn off that alcohol by cooking it overnight. We just want to mix that through. God. It's so interesting because all the flavors are there, but it's just nowhere near developed. And it needs that alcohol. Is it possible to get that obsessed and fascinated over what is simply mincemeat? But the lemon and the apple plays such a big part in this. I think they are what make it, for me, absolutely delicious. This wants to go into a nice baking tray. That's what a baking tray looks like in a restaurant. Like so. Right, that's going to get 3 hours, 80 degrees. I'm going to pop a little lid on that, and that's all going to get cooked nicely, and we'll come back to it and we'll get our alcohol into it. Okay. There we go. That's my mincemeat that's had 3 hours at 80 degrees, and it gets all that sort of apple melted down, the lemon still in there, starting to get really sticky. In fact, it becomes quite dry and quite tight at this point. So this is the part where you must add the alcohol, and it's got to cool down. Don't be adding it in hot, because we don't want to cook that alcohol. We want the alcohol to be there because it's a preservative, but it also needs to remain quite potent and quite alcoholic as well. So this is 200 mils of brandy. Really good quality brandy, and that's 200 mils of dry sherry going in there now. What that's going to do, it's just going to be potent like that. I'm going to go back to this halfway through the year and feed it with a little bit more alcohol, a bit more brandy and a bit more sherry, and just let that fruit rehydrate in all that raw alcohol and let it come back. So just give that a really good mix in now. You won't be able to sort of amalgamate all of that alcohol into it, but it is starting to look absolutely delicious. And if you look at the one that was from a year ago, it's got a much softer, darker feel to it. We do put this into a KitchenAid mixer with a paddle attachment, and whip it so that it almost emulsifies. We do that specifically for the mince pies here at Trinity, but when I'm at home I don't do that. I just leave it like this and I just feed it every year. I then pop it into a jar. Very important to sterilise the jar. Just put it through a dishwasher or fill it with boiling water, whatever you need to do to sterilise that jar. Put it in, label it up, make sure you're a year away from making your mince pies. And it doesn't need to store in the fridge. It can store ambient on the shelf, look really pretty. Also makes a really lovely gift. If you make loads of little jam jars, nice little gift to give to people. Your own homemade mincemeat. But this is my mincemeat. You should make your own mincemeat. Maybe don't use lemons, maybe use clementines, maybe use grapefruit. Maybe change the spices, maybe change the fruits. Do whatever you like, whatever makes you happy. This one makes me really happy. And I hope it makes you happy too. So that's my mincemeat, all set and ready to go for 2026. What I need to try and do is get all that mincemeat in there. You want it to come up as high as possible. I will also probably put a little cartouche on there as well. There we go. 2026 mincemeat. Ready to go. I hope you give it a go. I hope you make some lovely mince pies, and I hope you have a lovely Christmas.